But the sport wasn't his be-all and end-all. He was outward-looking, naturally curious. Unfazed by my Quebecois accent, he'd ask me what it was like growing up in Quebec, about the lengthy sailing trips my family used to take, and about our all-hands-on-deck family business ventures, from a vineyard to an orchard to a bakery. All these aspects of my background made me unusual in NFL circles. But that wasn't the half of it. I'd come to football late and learned the game's CFL style. That's the Canadian Football League, which follows different rules that significantly differ the nature of play. I'd never, as a kid, not even as a teen, watched pro sports on TV. When the game became a serious pursuit for me, and aiming for the NFL a remote possibility, I couldn't name a single superstar player except for Tom Brady. For the longest time, I didn't even know what the Super Bowl was. I kept mixing it up with the Grey Cup, the CFL Championship, and the NHL's Stanley Cup. Too many cups. On top of all that, while playing football, I was working my way through medical school. Since Mitch and I first ran out on the field together, that hadn't changed. I was a pro footballer, a starter, a full-fledged member of the Kansas City Chiefs. I was also a doctor in training. During our years as teammates, sometimes I'd be studying medicine in a coffee shop, and Mitch would show up and quiz me on stuff in my textbook, joking that it read like another language. Mitch now played for the Buffalo Bills. It was 2 years since we'd been teammates, but we were still friends. And the question he put to me that day over our Chipotle was both fair and all too familiar. For years, I'd hit it at every step along the way, from family, teachers, mentors, coaches, fellow students, fellow players, old friends. Way back when I first started studying medicine, I was asked would I give up football and focus on my studies, as most people around me expected. Then, after I'd had the chance to become a starter in the NFL, would I think, great, I've had the chance to play pro. Now I can go back to medicine full-time? With each passing year, the question took on more urgency. You can only stretch out your medical training so far. 8 years in, I was pushing the limit. I was going to have to choose. And of course, when you win the AFC Championship and get a chance to play in the Super Bowl, that's a pretty nice way to hang up your cleats. As Mitch put it, at that point you've signed a huge contract, you've won a Super Bowl, you've kicked ass, you've done everything. Now go be a freaking doctor. He was right. I knew this was something I'd need to think about, and that I'd need to discuss it with Flo, and with my parents. I told Mitch the truth. I didn't know what I was going to do. But then I laughed. Or he did. We both did. Because really, right now, who cared about all that? For the next couple of weeks, medicine, the future, and whatever decisions I had to make would sit on the back burner, way far back. I was a Kansas City Chiefs offensive linebacker. It was late January 2020, and in less than 2 weeks I'd be out on the field in Miami, decked out in Kansas City red and gold, doing my thing, on Super Bowl Sunday. Of course, Mitch wasn't the only one with questions for me. And though I was perfectly happy to set my medical self aside during the most exciting week of my NFL career, the global media that descended on Miami in the days leading up to the big game had other ideas. The team flew into Miami on the Monday before the Super Bowl. Then we headed straight to Media Night at a local baseball stadium, our first of many marathon sessions that week, taking questions from the 2,000-odd reporters and writers who cover the game each year. Media Night resembles a circus. It's part Halloween, part stand-up routine, part hype machine, and